These simple exercises can work wonders for your shoulder pain. I'm Dr. Jared, and most atraumatic shoulder pain, that means we're not talking about accidents and injuries, we're talking about shoulder pain that comes on gradually and maybe worsens over time. This type of pain primarily comes from two causes. One, a tightness of the shoulder joint capsule and of the muscles and tendons, and a limitation in your range of motion. And then number two, a weakness in the rotator cuff muscles that control how your shoulder moves. Therefore, most shoulder pain starts to feel a lot better when we stretch those structures that are tight to increase the amount of motion available, and then strengthen those muscles that are weak to improve the control and the quality of that motion. These are the exercises that I recommend to do that. I hope they help your shoulder to feel a lot better. Let's start with some stretches. The two areas of the shoulder that primarily get the tightest are going to be the posterior capsule, or the back of the shoulder, and the inferior capsule, or right here under your armpit. These are some of my favorite stretches to target and stretch out those areas. Let's get started with a sleeper stretch, or an internal rotation stretch. You're going to lie down on your side on the painful shoulder. So right now I'm on my left side. Let's say it's my left shoulder that's painful. Now in this position, you're going to bring your elbow up, and then I want you to raise your fingers up towards the ceiling. And so my elbow is at a 90-degree bend right here. Now with my other hand, I'm going to grab the back of my wrist, and then I'm going to rotate that hand, rotate that palm down towards the table until I just get a good, comfortable stretch right in the back of the shoulder. So it looks just like that. Stretch to the point of pain, but I don't need you to push into pain. So take it into a comfortable range, and you're going to hold that for about 20 seconds, and then you're going to repeat that one 3 times. Now, stretch number 2 is another internal rotation stretch. I realize it's maybe not always convenient to lie down on the ground. For this one, I'm going to use a golf club. You can use a broom or a mop or a dowel. On this one, you can even use a towel as well. But what you're going to do is bring that painful hand to the small of your back right here. And honestly, if your shoulder is really painful, even this might be a pretty good stretch. This might be a good place to start. Just put that on the small of your back, and then point your chest up towards the ceiling. And what that does is that actually internally rotates that shoulder even more. You're going to feel more of a stretch to the shoulder. If you need more than that, what you're going to do is put that hand to the small of your back, and then we're going to use, I'm going to use the golf club, use whatever you have, to kind of come up and over your shoulder, down your back, and then I'm going to put it right in my hand. So it looks just like this. Now with the non-painful side, I'm going to grab up here high and then pull up towards the ceiling. So right now I'm using my right to pull my left hand higher up my back, and what you're going to feel there is, oh man, just even more of a stretch all through kind of the front and the top of the shoulder. Again, try to keep it pain-free. I was about to say that feels really good. I've got some tight shoulders. That one actually feels really good to me. Take it to a range where it's comfortable but not painful. We're going to hold it there for 20 seconds, and then once again repeat that 3 times. While you've got your broom, mop, dowel, golf club, whatever it is, we can also do an extension stretch with your shoulders. So now the painful side is going to be down. The pain-free side, I'm going to grab up here high. Now I'm going to use the pain-free side to pull that painful side back behind me as far as I can take it. Now, when I say as far as I can take it, it doesn't look like this. So what I want you to do is stay up nice and tall. Again, point that chest right up at the ceiling, and then from here, this is where we're going to push with that other hand. And what we feel here is, again, just a good comfortable stretch through the front of the shoulder. This is really good if you have any biceps tendon issues going on. If that supraspinatus tendon is kind of tight, this is a good way that we can kind of sneak it into that area a little bit. Hold for 20 seconds and repeat 3 times. And then finally, this last stretch is one of my personal favorite. I do this one regularly when my shoulder is painful. This is going to be an inferior capsule stretch. We're basically going to stretch out the armpit with this one. You're going to kneel on your knees, and with that painful hand, I want you to go palm up and slide it out in front of you. So this position right here. With the pain-free hand, you're going to lock that wrist in place just so that it doesn't move anywhere. Now in this position, I'm going to sit down and back onto my heels. just until, again, I'm gonna get a good stretch right here in the inferior capsule, or I'm trying to basically stretch out my armpit is what I tell patients with this. You wanna sit down and back just until you get a good, comfortable stretch right in that inferior capsule, and then we're gonna hold that for that 20-second count and repeat that one 3 times. Did you try those stretches out so far? And how does your shoulder feel? If you've gotten some benefit, hit the thumbs up button, leave me a comment below. I always love to hear from you. Also, have you had a chance to check out Tone and Titan's all-new membership area here on YouTube? We've got some bonus videos in there. It's a chance to show appreciation and support the channel. If you want to learn more about it, hit the join button down below. I'd love to see you on the back end of the membership site. Okay, so now what we need to do is move into strengthening exercises, specifically for your rotator cuff muscles. I've got 3 of my favorites. I'm gonna show them with a band, but I'll also demonstrate them with a dumbbell if you don't have these bands available. If you're interested in these, I've got them linked in the description down below. They're pretty cheap to pick up. There's a lot that you can do with them. And so if you're interested, linked in the description. If not, I'll show you some ways that you can do it with like a dumbbell or a water bottle or a can, things like that. So the first thing that we want to do is some external rotation with that rotator cuff, or this motion right here. This is a key group that often gets weak and often results in shoulder pain. And so what I like to do is get a rolled up towel, and I'm actually going to tuck that right here between my side and my elbow. That's going to keep my elbow in a better position. It keeps my elbow tight to my side. And then I'm going to bend my elbow at a 90 degree, and then I'm going to hold it there. Starting position is right here with the hand across my body, and then I'm going to pull against the resistance from that band out to this position right here. So you'll see I'm at a 90 at my elbow here, and I'm at a 90 at my elbow right here. If you start to chicken wing a little bit and that towel falls and you straighten your elbow out, we're not quite in that right position. And so keep that elbow tight, keep it at a 90 degree, and then we're gonna rotate about 10 to 15 times, and then typically we repeat that for 3 sets. And of course, the dumbbell, what we're gonna do is lie down on the non-painful side, dumbbells across your body, and then you rotate it up towards the ceiling, just like this. Exercise number 2 is going to be extension with some external rotation. And so what I'm going to do is, starting position now becomes right here. I'm going to maintain really good posture. As I pull with the back of my shoulder, I'm going to try to pull this band back behind me as my thumb rotates out towards you, or out towards that camera. So I'm starting thumbs up here. I'm going to pull and rotate, thumb out in this position, and then return right back here. 10 reps, 3 sets. If you want to do the dumbbell version, you're just going to hang your arm off of the edge of the bed and then pull up in the similar motion with the dumbbell, just like that. And then finally, exercise number 3 is going to be what we call a scaption exercise. And so we're not going to raise it straight up in front of me, and I'm not going to raise it straight out to the side. I want to raise about 30 degrees in front of that. So if this is straight out to the side, I'm going for about this motion right here. That's how I want to raise. And so now I'm going to grab the dumbbell, or excuse me, I'm going to grab the handle for the band right here, and then I'm going to raise up into that position just until it gets to shoulder height. If we get too much higher above that, really might cause some impingement, might cause some pain in there, but most people are tolerant up to shoulder height, and because of the direction, because of the resistance of the band, that's a great way that we can actually target that supraspinatus muscle. That's super common to get injured with impingement and rotator cuff issues, and so that's the motion that we want right there. If all you have is the dumbbell available, same motion, about 30 degrees in front of straight out to the side, and then we're gonna repeat that 10 reps, 3 times. I hope these help your shoulder to feel better. Thank you so much for watching.